Let me rope in Prachi into this conversation as well. Prachi, Donald Trump is perhaps pushing the envelope, like they say in American English, a little bit too much. He's also threatened BRICS nation that in case they continue towards de-dollarization, which is something that BRICS has been associated with, then there's going to be a 10% tax which is going to be levied on those countries as well. India is a part of that. Secondly, do you think in his quest to generate jobs in the United States, the American president is forgetting that America is a consumer economy, and this model was only, in fact, exaggerated by his predecessor, Joe Biden and Obama, and this is not something that can change in 4 years, which is his tenure, his last tenure as president.
For the question, and I very well agree with all my esteemed panelists out here who have pointed out several reasons why Trump is doing what he is doing. Actually, for Trump, I was just reading a letter that the White House issued to the Japanese Prime Minister, and in those letters, a few words are very much highlighted. One of them is fairness, and the other is cost of doing business to America. Now, when I say fairness, so for Trump, it is believed that any country with which America has a trade deficit, they need to have higher tariffs because that would be fair to America. Now the question is whether it will be able to increase more jobs, whether he's just following what his predecessors were doing. The basic idea, as I agree with my panelists like Dr. Jindal and Dr. Kohli, that it is basically the idea is that America is flexing its muscles and it wants to see which countries they succumb to that pressure, they come to the negotiating table on American terms and without him actually dramatically increasing the inflation. So what happens is that, and in fact in those letters you could see that they specifically point out that if the companies of the mentioned countries, they agree to make their goods in America, then there will be no tariff imposed. Because Trump's major idea is that he wants to reduce the income tax that is levied on American citizens, and he is trying to break it even with the tariff revenue generated from countries across the globe. Now the point is that if actually it happens hypothetically that all countries who were making goods in, let's say, foreign countries agree to make goods in America, then there will be no tariff, which means there will be no tariff revenue, which means that there will be no manufacturing jobs will not be created. So it's going to be a chicken and egg situation as it is. So for Trump to do this, it seems very juvenile to behave like this, since given the fact that he himself has a history of being a businessman and a business tycoon. So him behaving like this, he's making it very simple a game of mathematics that you come to my country, you make and you will win. And it is very true that if anybody knows the law, they know that trade deficit cannot be considered as a loss or a subsidy. In fact, it's actually a resemblance of a strong economy. So I would feel that Trump really needs to, and also one more thing that I wanted to point out was that on May 28th, the US Court of International Trade had pointed that Trump actually has no authority to impose these sweeping tariffs on various countries that is imposing, including China. So the reason that Trump is doing it, it may be he is crossing his power or his limitations. Maybe he's actually trying to flex the internal politics also to test that till where is he allowed to do what he wants to do. So I don't think that the Trump administration is gaining a lot of any brownie points either within the US economic circle or from outside the foreign countries. The only thing that is ending up doing is that they impose tariffs, then they go back to it, as it happened in the case of China. And yes, in case of China, I could say that they have managed to extract a deal where, because US was eyeing on the rare earth metals which is imposed by China and which is exported by China, and on which Xi Jinping had held a political leverage. So on that, on May 12, there was a true sign. Right. They again reneged on that also.